Hi guys and welcome back to Airtime Studios, and in today's video it is Planet Coaster episode number 4, and we are going to be finishing lots and lots of theming around the pirate themed area. So if you didn't know, this theme park that we're currently building at the moment is a massive theme park that's going to be a big project on my YouTube channel, Airtime Studios. And the opening area is a brand new pirate themed area, and we're going to be progressing through lots of different theming in this episode. It's going to look absolutely fantastic by the end of this episode. I can absolutely guarantee you that. You should be all looking forward to seeing just how well the theming comes along in this episode. Before we begin this episode, I'd like to make an announcement that our pirate roller coaster that we themed in the last episode, it is going to need a brand new name, because it's currently unnamed, the roller coaster, which is a Bollinger and Maillard inverted coaster. So we are going to need a name for the roller coaster, so I'd like a few suggestions down in the comments section below. So now, let's just enjoy the theming, and it's going to look absolutely fabulous by the end of the episode. I can absolutely guarantee that. We're just finishing the opening plaza on the first part of this video here. As you can see, we're just doing some work on this opening plaza, and I'm very impressed with how this opening plaza has come along. It looks really good. And I'd also like to share a few plans for the future of this theme park, and what I've decided that it's going to be a massive project on this YouTube channel, and I'm literally going to build this park until it's pretty much finished and full, or when my PC can't handle it anymore. I want this to be a massive theme park with multiple different themed areas. So also off camera, I extended the boundaries of this park to like maximum, so we can literally build so much in this theme park, and it's going to be such a good project that you can look forward to every Friday on Airtime Studios. We're just adding a couple more buildings to the opening plaza here. We're still following this sort of sandstone wall theme for this pirate area. There pops up that Kraken monster again that we put in episode 2 of Planet Coaster. Go check that episode out if you haven't, because we basically did the whole opening plaza in episode 2 of this series. So go check that out, it'll be really cool, and you get to see me building that massive Kraken monster that keeps popping up every time. So as I added a few lampposts in here, just making it shine up more. And after we've done those lampposts, now we're back into the final touches of theming round the opening plaza, which is looking really good, with some pirates, shacks and some netting, and a bell tower is going in there, which is really making the area look very finished off with the theming here. Just adding some scaffolding to that bell tower, piece of theming. Why not? Almost putting that shipwreck there, but decided I've already got a few shipwrecks, so let's not put that in, and we're putting a lift instead. I love those rock skulls. They just look absolutely fabulous and really intimidating as well. It'll be a really great photo opportunity to have if that was in real life. Certainly would be. I'd love to get a picture with one of those, because it looks really cool. And after doing a few finishing touches, I also added half a roller coaster loop around the entrance to the opening plaza, which looks pretty cool, especially with the Kraken monster popping up there. It's the same type of track that's on my inverted roller coaster and the same colours, so I thought it would fit in really well with the opening plaza. What we're doing here is we're making a waterfall now, which is going to look quite cool by in a few minutes. So we're just building up some rocks here. I find this as a really good water fountain source, these rocks, because you can just trickle the water down through the gaps of the rocks, which is going to make it look really cool. As you can see, I'm just adding some fountains here. We're not using the proper waterfall mechanics in Planet Coaster because they're just straight water, so I'm just using these water spouts here to fill in the gaps, and it really makes it look like a nice waterfall that's just flowing down. As you can see, it's making it look really cool right here. And once we did that, well, I decided to move it sort of further back and then add a sort of basin to the bottom where the water sort of lands in, to make it seem a bit more realistic, because it's not just going to end randomly like that in real life, is it? It's going to be going somewhere, and it would look nicer going in a little puddle of water rather than just flooding the grass, wouldn't it? So that's exactly what I did. I put a sort of trim around it, and then I decided to put some large water effects across the bottom, which really made the fountain laggy. As you can see, every time I add one of these, in a minute, it's just going to be really laggy around that sort of area. I don't know why, but those little things, my PC doesn't like them very much. So we're probably going to stay away from the fountain for most of the park now because of that problem. But anyway, now we're just adding a bit of colourful plants around the area. It really makes the park look more alive after adding colourful bushes and other things. So we'll add a few bushes here, and that makes it look really quite nice around in the opening plaza. Nice first impressions, giving you some colour and nature to the area. So that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And why not mix that in with a few treasure chests? Random pieces of theming, just perfect for my theme parks. Then we've got some exploding barrels here too, to make it look even more atmospheric around the nature. As you can see, it's really coming along now, and the opening plaza is really close to being finished off. Just adding some final barrel plants here to make the area look even more naturey. Why not add more nature? And I love the trees we're using as well in this area. Sort of these trees that fit in with the landscape as well. The alpine tree, as they're called. So they're looking really cool, especially around the roller coaster here. As you can see, I still love that roller coaster. We made a great roller coaster last time when we made that all the way back in the first episode. What a great roller coaster that is. Anyway, back to finishing the opening plaza here. Just copying a few towers into the corners to make it look even nicer around the edge of the building. To adding some turrets really finishes off the edge of the building and gets rid of the sharp corners as well. So I certainly like that, doing that there. As you can see, it's making the building look a lot better. Now, I was a bit lazy in the last episode finishing off, I'm not gonna lie, I was really lazy finishing off the queue line to the pirate roller coaster. So I'm just sorting out the rocks a bit here, and then I'm gonna add a few barrels in between them, I think, to make it look more finished off, because I just plonked a few trees and rocks there, and then basically because I just wanted to get on with the theming. So now we're just finishing off the queue line off here to make it look finished off even better. As who wants a lazy finished queue line? You want it to look properly good, in my opinion. So I'm just making it look good here. Oh, I love this Planet Coaster music. It really gives great atmosphere in the video, I certainly think. As you can see, those boughs and rocks look like a great combination. Those deciduous rocks look really nice for this pirate themed area, and that's the ones I've used for most of the area, as you can see. I don't know what I'm doing with the scaffolding there. Kind of strange, but added theming doesn't really matter. Sort of like, that's in construction. Confusing, but I don't know why I put that there, but it doesn't matter. It's added theming to make this look fabulous, as you can see. And we just finish off the theming to around this blank space, and we also don't really want to see the queue line for the roller coaster from the opening plaza, so I'll cover it with this sort of camp area for for all the different pirates living around here. So I had some shacks and some campfires, as you can see here. It's coming along really nicely as an all-together package on the opening plaza for the theme park. And then for some reason, the original building of that, which I copied over there, I accidentally deleted it somehow, and I don't remember doing that. So I had to copy it back over there, which wasn't much of a problem, but slightly annoying. Anyway, just sort of, now we're just adding theming to the opposite side of the entrance building, because it was completely blank before, and you're certainly going to see sort of the entrance of the theme park come alive in this episode as well, with quite a few buildings coming along that main big walk that I've put down there. It's not like a really big grand entrance that I'm planning for this. Just a few separate buildings around parts of theming, and maybe one or two rides down there as well. And that would certainly look great on the opening plaza. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in this episode to make the entrance street look just pin perfect, really, for my liking. As I like it to be sort of not massively grand, just a nice combination of well-themed buildings and nature and rides to make sort of pathways look really good. And the buildings are going to have lots of different facilities in them as well, such as I'm going to add a place where you can get all food and drink, so that's going to be good to get all your food and drink in one place on the opening street. A little trick I know there: if you put a bit of path on a jagged bit of path and then delete it straight away, it curves the path. So that's what I did there to make it look nicer than it was before. As you can see, we're about to start building another building for the cut through here to the roller coaster that I've built. We've got a nice archway here to make it look better than just a plain walk through. So I used the archway blocks to make it look better. As you can see, that archway already looks better than it would have done if it was just square walls around it, I imagine. I like randomly shaping my buildings in Planet Coaster. It just makes it look doesn't make it look plain as much. Because who wants a plain shaped building? Otherwise it wouldn't look interesting. In some of my older theme parks I've created on Planet Coaster, I used to just build square buildings with random roofs, but I've learned it looks a lot more interesting when you shape the walls differently. But the problem with these curved walls, to make the walls shaped differently, is that they have to be on one side of the grid. On most walls, there's two sides of the grid that you can interchange, but on the curved pieces of walls, for some reason, you can't interchange them, which is quite strange. So, if you put the straight walls on the wrong side of the grid, you have to redo the whole thing, which I had to do quite a few times in theming up in this episode, let's just say. So the building system is a little bit annoying when it comes to grids sometimes, and so is the path system, but I know how to get around it, but it's still irritating, and I wish there was a easier way to get around it, but it is what it is, and it doesn't really matter that much, but it is a little bit annoying. So if only it was fixed, but let's just ignore that for now and carry on theming. I love those cutlasses, they call it. That sword joined together above the sign is making it look really cool. Decorations on the buildings are absolutely fantastic for Planet Coaster, and so are the scenery pieces. Theming is my favourite thing to do in Planet Coaster. I prefer it to building roller coasters. I just find it really fun adding loads and loads of theming to every building and ground, which is why this park is going to have mounds of props and building decorations to go with it, to make it look absolutely fantastic. I just love putting random props in places. It just adds to the experience, in my opinion, of your theme parks in Planet Coaster. It just makes them look really cool, which is why a lot of the episodes in this series are going to be dedicated to theming up buildings and just theming different pathways around it, which is what this episode is around. I'm just like doing lots of theming on the area in this episode. There'll be quite a few episodes like that, just to finish up the park a bit better. It's really coming along, this pirate area, definitely, with the roller coaster and all the different buildings, and especially the opening plaza looks absolutely fantastic at the moment. Just adding different theming around this building here, which is to cut through to the roller coaster. It's almost finished here before we start work on other sections of the entrance street, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. So I'm gonna add a little bit of water, and then I'm gonna add one of those grand pirate ships there, which is gonna look really cool on the opening street, in my opinion. Just this massive pirate ship. As you can see, it really makes the entrance look really quite cool. Just walking down there and you get this massive ship that you can get in real life, that you could get loads of pictures with. I'd definitely like all of this park to be very picturesque. Now what I'm going to do here is add loads of lights. What I do with lights is I use these colourable area lights, and they don't look very nice, so I hide them underground and you still get the light. the problem is, I like adding lots of lights. On this opening plaza, I went light crazy. So in a minute, it's gonna make the video lag quite a lot, let's just say. So it's gonna miss multiple frames in about 2 minutes, me adding all the lights. Because once I start adding all the sort of orange lights, well, or warm white, sort of orangey or warm white, to the standard paths, it's gonna start lagging quite a bit. As you can see, it's already started lagging a bit, but it gets a bit worse in a minute once I start adding even more lights to the opening plaza. But it's gonna be worth it because it's gonna add lots of different colour at night to the opening plaza of this theme park. Because I want this theme park to be absolutely alive at night. Because I love my theme parks in Planet Coaster to have plenty of different coloured lights to make it look really cool. And it really looks impressive once you've added all the lights. Trust me, add tons of lights to your theme parks in Planet Coaster if you like playing Planet Coaster. It makes your park look so alive at night, and just want to view it the whole time at night time. Planet Coaster is my favourite video game that I play, as you can probably tell. I really know what I'm doing with the theming and the light package, and just how to play the game sometimes gets complicated, but I've worked around that now, and it's a great game to play around with. A lot of it's trial and error though, to see what's right and wrong for Planet Coaster. As you can see, because I have deleted a lot of stuff that I do build, you'll notice throughout the series that I end up saying, that's not great. Anyway, after that little light scene, we're on to the next building, I think, which is going to lead on to another area. So I'm going to sort of call this building a exit building to the pirate area. I'm starting off with a plain white wall, and then I'm going to add details around it out of sandstone. 2 layered walls, because there's 2 sides of the grid, like I mentioned earlier. Makes it look really cool. So I'm going to add sort of a white base there. Add sandstone around it, because there's like these sandstone walls that sort of have cutouts in them, and the cutouts are gonna reflect the white and just come together really nicely, in my opinion. As you can see, I'm building up the white walls here. I'm gonna skip most of the construction of this building because it took quite a long time to make this building, especially the edges, because I built this jagged edge with this quite strange shaped wall. I basically had to copy and paste it across the whole building, which is a pain. So I don't do any of that on camera because it took forever just to get that right. It has to look perfect. At first I tried just filling trees in between the gap, but in the end I decided the only option was to fill it in, otherwise it was going to look too visible due to the way I built this opening street. So this building was a pain, but in the end it does look good on the opening plaza. I hope you're all enjoying this video, and especially this music for Planet Coaster. It's a brilliant soundtrack for Planet Coaster. Download it for yourself if you like. It's called You, Me and Gravity, the music of Planet Coaster. And I probably include all the songs of that playlist in this video to reflect just how good the playlist is. And here comes the next song. This one, it has quite strange names, some of them, I've got to say though, the tracks in You, Me and Gravity. As this one that we've just jumped into is called Clever Candles Steal the Light for some reason. But the names doesn't really matter, it's just a really good soundtrack. So I'm adding this ride to the opening plaza now. This children's sort of mini, like tiny Ferris wheel thing, where it puts this pirate soundtrack on it that really irritates me. So I'm glad you don't have to listen to it on this video, but just the Planet Coaster soundtrack, as the soundtrack that ride comes with is quite irritating. It's just sort of this this irritating tune, and then a few people are saying some gibberish words in the background. So I'm glad you guys don't have to listen to that, because that would make the video really irritating. So we're gonna stick with the Planet Coaster soundtrack on this, not the annoying battle of something music on that ride. Just adding another building on this side, and this building is going to be the food court building, where I have all food and drink facilities to pick up a snack from there, or your lunch or dinner. Perfect place to go if you want to get food in the pirate area. And I came up with quite a good name for this. It is Eye Patch Diner, the name for this food place. So come to Eye Patch Diner for a fabulous meal, guests of Planet Coaster. As the food there is absolutely brilliant. We have almost everything you can imagine. I do pretty much put every food and drink store in this building, because there is enough room. So it's packed full of facilities. And here's where I had to move all of the walls because of that curved wall on the one grid. And like I said, that was pretty annoying. So I hope they fix that at some point, but I doubt they will, because Frontier, the people who make Planet Coaster, don't support the game anymore. When you launch the game, it tells you that support left in 2019. So that's unfortunate, because that would have been a good fix for that bug. But hey ho, nothing we can do about it. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm adding these trimmings to the building, where later on in this video I'm gonna add some plants to them, and it really makes the building look quite cool there. And we're also gonna add another sandstone turret to the corner of this wall. Like I said earlier, adding sandstone turrets in pirate theming really makes the edges of the building look a lot better than they already were, with those spiky corners, as you can see there. And I like adding those battlements to the top as well, you know, so in sort of when pirates were around, or when they were supposedly around, there would supposedly be guns poked through those little gaps, which is why they're there. Quite brutal, but that's exactly what their sole purpose was when they first designed them. But I think it really adds a nice detailed effect to the building as in Planet Coaster. So I'm gonna add them to the top of these buildings. I really enjoyed making all of this theming for you guys on Airtime Studios. It was an action-packed theming job that took me probably about 5 hours in total to complete in the end. Maybe not quite that much, but at least 4 to 5 hours worth of work this was. to add all the theming around here. So I'm glad it's finally going on YouTube after all that work I've done to it. So it was a hard it was quite a long theming project to produce, but in my opinion the final result was absolutely fabulous. So yeah, just the theming in this episode is gonna look outstanding by the end of this video. I can absolutely guarantee that. I hope you guys watching on Airtime Studios are all very excited for the future of this theme park. I certainly am, and I'm also going to need some suggestions for the next themed area I am going to create on this massive theme park on Airtime Studios. It can be any theme you want. I'd love to mix match loads of different themes in this park. It doesn't have to fit a sort of theme or anything. Just any old theme. Like it could go pirate to fairy tale suddenly, that's different. Or it could go pirate to a made up theme if you wanted, such as something that you've never seen at a theme park before. An absolutely brand new theme that I can produce in this park for Planet Coaster. And I really need some great suggestions for this fabulous theme park, and it can be anything you like. I'm up for any suggestions, so just comment them down below and I'll take them into account. Of course I will. It's only your suggestions after all, and I'm sure they're going to be great suggestions, as people watching Planet Coaster are really creative people. When you watch other people's Planet Coaster videos, there's a lot of suggestions in the comments, and some of them actually come to the video, so that's really cool. So that is exactly why I'm asking for your recommendations, just so you can get an input in my theme park into what you think it would be good looking like in the future. So any suggestions I'm up for, just comment them down below. Anyway, in this moment in time, I'm working on the Eye Patch Diner, that place where you can get loads of food stuff, like I said. So at the moment I'm just adding some of these things that are made of sandstone, sort of have a hole in them to go through the cabinet for the staff, as you can see. Just making it look finished off inside, not these silly colourful buildings, so just blocking them off, and I'll also put a roof over them too, to make it look even nicer. And that would be perfect after I've done that, as you can see. Just making sure it's all covered up until the Eye Patch Diner is almost finished, just as I create the invisible paths. I just removed the curbs. I removed the curbs and the railing, so you can't see the path. And I'm basically simulating it like they're just walking on the bricks below. And after that, I'm firing all the staff as well, because the park isn't open. So out they go at the building. You're fired, guys. Unfortunately, because you've got no job to do here. The park is not open at the moment. So unfortunately, you're out of the park. Anyway, carrying on with all sorts of different theming around the Eye Patch Diner to see how good it is going to look by the end. It's already coming along pretty nicely in my opinion. Just adding some hanging skeletons to the wall now, and many other things, such as a few wooden planks I'm putting on the building for for decoration in a sort of ladder shape, as you can see. There's some pretty nice decorations in my opinion. One of my favourite wooden decorations in the game. As you can see. Pretty nice, aren't they? All the pirate theming is to a really good level in this park, in my opinion. This park is gonna have so much theming, and I'm gonna make sure every area in the park is gonna be up to the extent of the other one. And if that means coming back to another area and improving it, then so be it. There might be a few episodes in this series when I come back to an area just to improve its theming, to keep it up to standard with the latest areas in the park. That's another plan with this theme park, so one area doesn't fall behind the rest by the time we officially open the park to the guests in Planet Coaster. And just adding another balcony on the opposite side of the entrance building here now, and once we've done that, I'm gonna make a little edit to the roller coaster here. So I'm gonna put a path round to the roller coaster here, as you can see, just going round to the roller coaster, round the back of it, and then I'm gonna create a smaller path that goes through the area of the ride, because when I went down to ground level, I realised that there really wasn't many areas to actually see the roller coaster in action. So I ended up putting in this path here to show off the rides. In the end, had to move things around a little bit, but it was worth it in my opinion, because I'd like people to be able to see just how the ride is going around in action. So around the park there's going to be quite a few little paths that are just going to be some viewing areas. They're going to look really good like that, and there's that path done. Just making sure it's all polished off with the theming, as you can see, and the path's clear, and it is now. I still like the fact that we put that shark mouth in through the roller coaster's ride area. I think it's a really good bit of theming, and especially all that theming around the pirate area is absolutely fabulous. It took a while to build. Go and check out all the theming for the Pirates Inverted roller coaster in my last episode of Planet Coaster episode 3. That's appearing in your top right corner of your screen right now. So if you want to do that, just click it at the end of this video. I'll link it in the description. So yes, this theme park has already had 3 episodes before this one. If you're watching this and you've watched the other 3 episodes, I apologise for the big break in between episode 3 and 4. What was it, like a couple of months? I'm really sorry about that. I was doing other videos and still getting to grip with my YouTube channel, but now I've got a Airtime Studios video schedule. I am gonna officially post one of these videos every Friday, hopefully. Unfortunately, this video, if you didn't see my community post, this video has had to be delayed until Saturday. But most of these Planet Coaster videos are going to be coming on a Friday evening for you guys to enjoy and watch every Friday, just to see every week how much this theme park is going to progress. And in the next couple of weeks, how I'm going to finish off this pirate-themed area. Stay tuned for the next episode, because I am going to be building another big ride in the next episode. I'm not going to give any more spoilers than that, but I am going to be building another big ride in the next episode of Planet Coaster, so be sure to check that out next Friday, as it's going to look just as good as our inverted roller coaster, the next big ride. I've got big plans for it to finish off this pirate area. So the next big ride in this pirate area is coming next week on Planet Coaster. Now we're just making a few finishing touches to the pathways just around the pirate themed area now, as a lot of it is plain grass at the moment. So as we finish off those areas, and to make it look alive, we're gonna finish off those blank areas of grass around the pathways of the pirate area to make the whole package really well themed. The theming is such a good part of Planet Coaster. I love theming every little thing. So in this series you're gonna see so much theming. I can guarantee you that. So if you love watching people theme Planet Coaster, then Airtime Studios is the right place to be for theming. Now just imagining like a corner of pathway on a theme park, maybe a prop or two of theming, maybe a few trees. So that's what I did there to fill in the blank area. As you can see. Then just adding a campsite there. They call that a bit of theming. Then we're gonna add a few pirate shacks to finish it off even more, and then just finish it off with some colourful bushes and some rocks, in my opinion, to make it look even better. And I just sort of extended the rocky area a bit, to make the pirate area, the roller coaster ride area, look even better around the corners. Just so none of it's grass, because I like the rocky terrain feel of the roller coaster. So I painted it all with rock, as you'll find out in the last couple of episodes of Planet Coaster on Airtime Studios. Now I'm filling in with those little trimmings with plants, like I said I would earlier on when I built the eye patch diner. So I'm just finishing this building off here with some colourful plants to make it look really nice. If you play Planet Coaster, comment down below your favourite bushes, because I certainly do have a few favourite bushes. If you look at the building section, as you can see, quite a few of them are favourited. One of my favourite bushes got to be the one that they call the red floral bush. It's a green and red bush that really works well around Planet Coaster. Now what I'm doing here is I'm gonna build a wooden building here, just to finish off the area with another building. So this one's gonna be made out of wood for a change, as when pirates are around, if they ever were, then I'm sure they built a lot of stuff out of wood, not sandstone. So I doubt a lot of it was built with sandstone, but that's what the theming of Planet Coaster comes with for the pirate area, which is exactly why I used sandstone in Planet Coaster. But we should add a little bit of realism, shouldn't we? And so I have some wooden building here. I still want this theme park to be quite realistic. I don't want it to be just made up. We're still thinking about like theme parks. So it doesn't have to be exactly real to like the pirate ages, because it's just a theme park. We're just theming, and there's nothing wrong with that. So why not make buildings out of sandstone and wood? Just adding a little platform there to place a few props. That's gonna look good, I think, to add that. And we're almost coming to the end of this episode here in about 5 minutes, so we're literally on the final remaining touches of this episode, and it's come along really well in this episode. Comment down below what you think of the theming that I have completed in this episode of Planet Coaster. I'm really impressed with my theming, but if you think I can make some improvements and what you think would make a good change, then definitely comment it down below in the comment section, because I'd love your recommendations for this theme park like I mentioned earlier. And you can also give me some tips about Planet Coaster that I may not have known already if you want that. As I'm sure there's a few things about Planet Coaster that I don't know. I mean, I've only been playing it since 2020, so I've only been playing it for a couple of years now, so I still don't know everything there is to know about Planet Coaster. So if you know something that I don't, be sure to comment down below exactly what it is, and I'll try and use it in my episodes of Planet Coaster on this massive theme park that's still currently unnamed, but I will ask for name suggestions for the actual theme park in time. But since we're only completing the first area, I don't know what feel we have for this theme park, so we'll just see how it goes, and then we'll see what will be a suitable name for Planet Coaster, for this Planet Coaster theme park. And I'll tell you when I think it's the right time to name this park, as at the moment I do not have a feel for what this park is going to become. I know it's going to be this massive theme park that's going to be a big project on Airtime Studios. It's currently called Airtime Studios Theme Park for a simple name. But I'll be looking forward to your guys' name suggestions when we get to that time. Anyway, adding more of those alpine trees around and pirate shacks to finish off the area. Trees and standalone bits of theming always finish off areas in Planet Coaster very nice, and especially with these pirate animatronics, some of them are quite funny. Right, what we're doing here is we're adding a shipwreck to the queue line in this little kiddies ride for Planet Coaster. So basically, there's 3 pieces of shipwreck theming in the pirate theming, and what I've done is I've joined them together to make what the ship might have looked like together. Of course, if it was together, it would have more parts of wood to it. It is a shipwreck, so it is stripped a bit, but it actually looks pretty cool putting all the bits of shipwreck next to each other. It does actually make it look a bit like a pirate ship in my opinion, so why not add a mast to it right at the back to finish off that pirate ship. Just adding an extra walkway here, same shark mouth that went through the pirate roller coaster, so why not add that in this queue line for you to walk through. Another great photo opportunity that would be in real life. Like I said, this park is going to be really picturesque and look great. And looking down from ground level, this opening street is looking absolutely fabulous, in my opinion, and it's certainly come along with the opening plaza as well. They both joined together to make a really good package for all the buildings and theming around. Now, what I've decided was this is going to be a massive theme park project, and I want this park to be massive, that I don't actually want there to be a lake anymore, so I am going to fill it in. For those who like the lake, I'm really sorry that I'm removing it, but there will be many rivers and streams going around the park that I will create in the next episodes. But removing this lake was necessary for more space. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this theming in Planet Coaster, and I'll see you next week for the next episode. Goodbye!